Okay. I probably start every video with okay. Who cares? Welcome to the second, to the breakdown of the second creative sprint, the 30-minute challenges I set myself. I hope you enjoyed the first one. It was a lot of fun making them, those two. And I'm sure I will have a lot of fun making the following creative sprints as well. So, the first one was without any constraints. The second one I asked an AI to give me a BPM between 60 and 180, and it gave me 115. And I also asked for him to give me a key or a mode to write the track in. It's just to get like some limits, although they're not really limits, let's say. It's just a direction. Let's call it the direction. And I also asked him to describe me the feeling of the loop of the track. So it gave me a bluesy, groovy, open-ended vibe, something like that. I pasted it in the here in the description, the project panel, so you can read it. So yeah, that was everything I had to work on. We start the track again, like the loop, the first one, with a bass line. Also, like the first one, I just made a preset of my own, a sound of my own, let's say. But for the first time, I don't think I ever used a byte oscillator, if you can call it a byte oscillator. It's an oscillator. It's a technique, yeah. So it's exponential FM. So it has that frequency modulation sound to it. For the rest, it's just an envelope I adapted, and also the filter envelope. And also, again, 11 steps in the arpeggiator. The arpeggiator plays a blossom up, so it plays from the center spiral up, whatever that means. I should record the BD to know exactly what it's doing, but I can hear it a bit. So it's not repeating, or not that much. For the rest, it's pretty straightforward what I did here. Next, I created a clip for djembe. With like is it polyrhythmic a bit, you could say. Although it repeats the bar, I mean, just over and over. But again, against that bass line, I think it's hard to find the one, although the first djembe, it always hits on the one, so it shouldn't be that hard. Next, to add more groove to the loop, a hi-hat. This hi-hat is just a simple one note, but of course, being Bitwig, I added note repeats in the Euclidean rhythm. And the Euclidean rhythm, it's 100% density, but with velocity. So it's a bit of a groove. And for the rest, there's a steps modulator. Well, this is a open hat instrument from Bitwig. And there's a steps modulator modulating the decay in 12/16 notes. So it's repeating itself, but not in a bar sense. If I'm explaining myself again, very badly probably, but okay. After that, I wanted to add even more percussion, so I used the trick I use a lot, which is just pulling in a loop into a sampler with an arpeggiator in front, so it's It plays 16 notes all the time. Is it 16 notes? Yes. And then a steps modulator that modulates the playhead. So the sound I get is always like random. I can even randomize it more here. And it sounds like this. I'm just gonna solo it a bit. So there's a groove to it. It's a bit hard to hear. I also added some modulation to the pitch. Just slightly, not that much. And some modulation to the pan. So the sound bounces around a bit. And then a delay, just ping pong mode, left, right, I mean left. And also, yeah, the delay starts at the left. And some saturation, again with a thermal, and apparently just the standard, the default preset. So everything together. So now the groove starts building, but we need something to anchor it, at least in my opinion. And so I added a snare. Snare, it should always play when I ask it to play, but I added some randomness to it. So all these notes, or at least, wait. This note, or these samples, let's call them that, and these, they have a 31% chance of playing. So it might be one sample, it might be two, it might be three. It all depends. And then there's another snare on the offbeat in between beat 3 and 4 that has only an 11% chance of playing. So it shouldn't always play, but yeah, it's random, so we don't know. The idea is that on beat 2 and 4 it plays always, but sometimes it won't. So it's to anchor the groove. Then I wanted to add some melodic interest. And so again, the trick I use a lot, dragged in a drone, a G in the key or in the chord or the note of G. So it would be in key with the arpeggiator, and then the steps modulator, modulating the playhead, and also a random modulator modulating the panning. So there's some movement in the stereo field. Added a pitch shifter, but the pitch shifter again, it's modulated by a random modulator, but just a little bit, so only half a semitone, I think this is, on the left. And then the grain size with the steps modulator, just this one is in quarter notes here. So there's more, sound is more dynamic, not predictable, yeah. And then just a simple ping pong delay. I think it's just the default preset. So we have this. So yeah, after that, time for the kick. but not a kick in a usual way, not a 4 to the floor kick, although it is a 4 to the floor kick. But yeah, what I did was a V9 kick instrument from Bitwig itself, then a note repeats in the Euclidean mode to add that 4 to the floor, but then give me doing it like this, give me the option to change the pattern throughout the song or the loop. Right now I just added with this modulator playing quarter notes. It's quarter notes, so yeah. So at the end of every measure bar, it should like play a fill. Yeah. So at this point it's different from at this point. Yeah. I'm not explaining this right, but you see what I mean, I hope. If I want, I can add more. If I want to arrange the track, for example, like I can have more control over, is it control? Add more randomness, add other fills. It's pretty easy in this way, just with this modulator. For the rest, I think I just changed a few things here, parameters on the kick. For the rest, it's just a normal kick. I think I could have added some more distortion or saturation to the kick, but I felt it was okay for the track, for the loop. So yeah, then we have a lot of rhythm with just a bass line and then that rhythmic drone. This one and then the bass line. You could say these are the only two melodic things that are in there. So we're missing something. I decided to add some more melodic interest by adding all the notes that are present in the G Mixolydian mode. These are actually all the white keys, but starting from G. So I added them here, with over 64 bars. So it's a quite lengthy loop. And why, of course. This steps modulator is also in 64 steps, and it plays a bar, so it's 64 bars. And this modulator modulates the velocity and the gate length, so not every bar there will be a sound playing. I hope that's clear. But what is it playing? It's playing like a violin. So let's bring it in. Again, decent sampler. I don't know why they do it. I'm gonna raise the volume a bit on this because it's so silent. Maybe that was the idea when I made the loop. And so thanks to the arpeggiator that plays all the notes in the G Mixolydian scale, and the length of the clip, and of course the length of the modulator. I don't always get a note, and when a note plays, it's not always the same. Over the 64 bars, yes, it loops, and it will be the same, or it will start over again and play the same. But 64 bars is like, what is it? Here you go, 2 minutes, more than 2 minutes then, so everything together. Then I decided to add even more melodic interest, but not that much. It's actually just a simple patch from out of UVI workstation, the HX20. It's a preset. I just searched for a preset and it's playing an ARP. And it's just the initial arpeggiator, so I don't think I changed anything. But I like the sound, and a preset can be inspiring, and that's why I love presets. I don't always use presets. I make my own sounds as well if I know what I'm looking for example, or if I want to experiment. But if you find a preset that's great for the track, then use it. And in this case, it was so. So yeah, not a lot to tell about this track. And then yeah, what do we need more? You can always keep adding more. But sometimes I think about what's in a band. So bass guitar, maybe a lead guitar, a rhythm guitar, a drum, a percussionist, a piano, and of course a vocalist. Although I'm not going to sing. I just added, like so many times before, the sampler trick, where you put in a sample, put an arpeggiator in front, change a bit of parameters in the arpeggiator, make a modulator modulate the playhead, and you got yourself something. So the loop in itself sounds like this. It's pretty straightforward, didn't do a lot. And then I added a trash effect, so distortion, saturation, and everything together. So yeah, one thing I did was I felt the kick or the bass was like drowning the kick a bit. So I added a sidechain, Bitwig style, with a modulator. This modulator is just modulating the volume of the instrument. So that was like a mixing decision to bring out the kick a bit more. Let's see if you solo these two. And I I turn off this modulator. So the bass is more present than the kick. If you want that, okay, but I wanted the kick to come a bit better in the mix. This also adds to the groove, of course. So yeah, that was the breakdown of the second creative sprint. I loved the feel of this loop at the end. I really think everything worked out great. Of course, it's not a track; it's just a loop. But anyway, it was a great exercise. Also because of the constraints, although they weren't that rigid or extreme. Yeah. Hope you liked it, learned something. Want to ask me something? Do you have any comments? Shoot, I'll be here in the comments. Love to hear them, actually. And we'll hope to see you in the next one. Have an awesome day. Goodbye.